Alright, sweet peas, this is a continuation of the video that I literally just got done making not even 2 seconds ago. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. And the reason why I woke up in a good mood today was because... sorry. Sometimes my videos have comical moments. Sometimes my videos have comical moments. Excuse me. In order to be able to... just got done eating a little bread. Sometimes my videos have comical moments, so I can put a smile on your face. Hang on. Now, I had to wait until that helicopter went by because of how loud it is. Alright, I gotta get right to the point concerning this video. Excuse me for a second. Now I'm getting a late start to my day, so I'm only going to be making this video. This video is a continuation of the other video, okay, that I just got done making. It's a 2-part video series. That video title is in the description. It's the first video, it's the first YouTube title that is in the description of this YouTube video. Watch it, because this 2-part video series it's going to be descriptive, informative, educational, and it'll literally show you the purpose of this video. Basically, it will complement it because they're connected. Okay, so let me just take a couple puffs off my cigarette, and I apologize for smoking. But I woke up about an hour and a half ago, and I'm getting a late start to my day. Because I was up late last night, and because I listened to a couple hours of Coast to Coast radio show. Alright, now, in the tail end of the previous video, I brought up the term that describes what gaslighting is. And I also talked briefly about the movie Gaslight with Ingrid Bergman. I have never, in all the years of 13 non-stop, I've been a gang stalking target now openly for 13 years. And every single day, you would not believe the money I have went through because of this criminality that's being perpetrated against me in every aspect of my personal life. Again, please watch the YouTube video that this one is stemming from, and that YouTube video, its title is the first one that is in the description of this YouTube video. And also there's going to be a list of videos for you to see identical harassment that's happening around me everywhere I go, every single day, at different locations. Some locations 40-50 miles apart from, like you'll see in one video it's happening in La Jolla. In the second video, you'll see it's happening all the way over at Rosecrans and Nimitz Boulevard, 40 miles away. Okay? It's my intention right now to basically brief you on the intentional. See, when a criminal commits a crime, he's got malice aforethought and criminal intent in his mind. He's basically plotted out in his mind what he's going to do. Hang on one second. Alright, I was just a little worried about a squirrel. Anyways, criminals, what they will do when they plan on doing something, they'll develop a scheme, the methods and tactics they need to do in order to be able to bring the scheme into fruition, bring it about, okay, and then to be able to walk away from it. Now, harassment in organized stalking and gang stalking expedition is basically nothing but specific types of intentional harassment that is designed for the target to witness that is concerning the target. And they bring the harassment towards the target, concerning the target, around the target, in order to preoccupy the target with their harassment mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and even spiritually. And the other methods and tactics that they bring about against the targeted individual are designed to wreck their credit, cause them to go through their money. You would not believe what has happened to me and my fellow targeted individuals. That's right, because of this criminality. Now, I'm just going to basically start talking in reference to where I left off at in the end of the last video that this one is stemming from. Gaslighting is a term that describes organized stalking, gang stalking, psychological harassment. Because all the harassment, most of the harassment for them is psychological. Now, even though they do assault a target, they will even rape a target, they will even run over a target with a car, a van, a truck, or even another bicyclist. That's right. You would not believe what they'll stage arrests for a target as a result of provoking a target anywhere, at a campus, college campus, public library, store, transportation service, walking, bus stop, anywhere. They will literally stage an event with witnesses, blame the target on the event, okay, and one of the witnesses or the perpetrators will call the cops and say, this woman's crazy. This woman's claiming that she's being gang stalked and that we're gang stalking her. That's right. The police come out. It's a syndicated cop who's ready to come out to this event because he's part of the event. He comes out and either calls the target crazy, files a falsified police report, and or petitions the target in county mental health or takes him to jail. And these are the heinous expeditions of organized stalking. They also can get property owners. They not can, but they do get property owners and landlords on board. That's right. All right. So getting back to what gaslighting is. At the end of the last video that I just made, I talked about bringing up the movie Gaslight for the first and only time since I have been a target of this crime for 13 years. So watch that video, please. Okay, and then you'll fully be able to understand, because this is basically the continued theme from that video. Okay, just watch it. Now, in the movie Gaslight with Ingrid Bergman, and I forgot the other actors' names in it. It's an older movie. It was made back in the 40s. Excuse me for a second. But it was an older movie made back in the 40s by a woman who a man had, I guess, knew who she was. One second. See, I guess a man knew this guy was a criminal. He was a sociopath and more than likely a psychopath too. Okay, and this guy was a criminal, and for I forget exactly, because I watched the movie only twice in my entire life, and that was a couple years ago. Okay, so if I remember correctly, he knew who she was in the community. So basically what he did was he found a way to introduce himself to her, and then he charmed her, started dating her, and then married her. Okay, and I don't remember in the movie if the house they ended up living in was his or hers, or a relative of hers or a relative of his or whatever, but they ended up living in a house. And basically what he was doing was he was trying to get her out of the way for some reason. It might have been it had to do with some hidden jewelry that was in the house. And it might have had to do with hidden jewelry that was inherited to her and left in a house somewhere, and possibly she didn't know about it because she was very young when the person who hid the jewelry in the house hid it. Okay, and for some reason he knew it was there, but she possibly wasn't aware of it yet. Okay. Anyways, just watch the movie. His goal was to marry her so he could get the jewelry and keep it to himself so he could either cash it, obviously sell it. Just watch the movie. But in order for him to be able to take custody of the jewelry, the finances, he had to be able to try and claim that she was crazy to put her away. So he developed techniques to undermine her psychology, to drive her crazy, and to make her appear in the community as being crazy. And he did this by, in the first video that I just made, that this is a continuation of, I stated that these individuals, and I got the audio files to prove that advocates online, well-known national advocates like James Walbert and John Hall, along with David Larson, have talked about gang stalking and their methods. The following two descriptions are attached to statements that John Hall and James Walbert made. I just forgot which two statements were made by which party. Okay, it was either John Hall or James Walbert that said that these individuals will get outside the window of a target and repeat certain words or phrases. James Walbert said how they will get outside the door of a target and do the same thing. Now, if you went to if you went to YouTube right now and typed in gang stalking bullying on steroids, you'll see an individual in Santa Cruz County being right next door to San Diego County. He's being covered on the news. He talks about how he's harassed everywhere he goes, even at his own home, that the perpetrators, which included his neighbors, will get up on his roof and make noise because they want his mental attention to be brought up to him. As a result of him hearing them on his roof, he hears it, and so his mental attention is brought to it. In the movie Gaslighting, it shows the husband of Ingrid Bergman. What he did was he got in separate parts of the houses that Ingrid Bergman was not aware of, like up in the attic. Okay, and basically she was aware the attic was there, but she wasn't aware that there was separate entrances to the attic in reference to the entrance that she was familiar with. And so basically what he was doing was sneaking up in the attic and in other rooms that she did not know about that were adjacent to the rooms that she was in, and would say things for her to hear while she thought he was at work or had left to go to the store. And this was done so he could undermine her psychology to make her think she was going crazy. He would also play with the level of the lighting in the house to make her notice it. How was this being done? And basically what they were psychological harassment techniques, trying to get her to figure out how all this was happening and to get her to question her own perceptions. Now this is what organized stalking and gang stalking does. In the first video that this one was just made by, and I've already described to you about what the statements that John Hall and James Walbert stated, and you'll find those statements by those two separate targeted individuals. Well, John Hall's he was a target from what the internet is stating. He's been on the news. He's got YouTube videos that you can go to and listen to called John Hall Satellite Terrorism. And James Walbert is a nationally known target who literally won a federal court case concerning the electronic harassment that is utilized against him. Electronic harassment is another technique that is perpetrated against and can be perpetrated against all targeted individuals. That's right. Targeted individuals have been covered on national radio shows, national TV shows, local news broadcasts. So it's not like we're not known in reference to the type of crime that's happening to us. I just told you about a YouTube video that you can see gang stalking, bullying, and steroids of a targeted individual being covered on a news broadcast in Santa Cruz. And a Lieutenant Larry Richards from the Santa Cruz Police Department is flat out stating that gang stalking has been going on forever and that it's even reached out into the cyber world. Now, so basically, what they're doing to me is gaslighting me along all my routes. And one of the methods they're doing is getting along all my routes and repeating literally the word of the crime that's happening to me in specific ways. Like repeating gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, oh my, and as soon as they say gang stalk, another one will say, oh my God. And basically what that is that as a result of this stalking and tracking of me, they're placing these and learning my regular routes, including transportation routes. What they're doing is placing these people they use for the day to get around me and harass me in specific ways using these types of gaslighting techniques. But except what they're doing is basically getting around me and doing it while they're acting like they're blending in with the environment that I'm in a restaurant, at a university campus, at a public library, on transportation services like MTS buses and trolleys, at MTS bus stations and trolley stations, everywhere I go. And if you look at the YouTube videos, the list of the YouTube videos that are in the description of this YouTube video, you'll see the same exact identical harassment that I'm about ready to transfer over to you from this tape recorder, okay, happening in locations that are 40 to 50 miles apart. That's right. And there's no way that this could be happening around me unless I was being stalked. So, basically, I'm going to describe real fast what they're doing to me every single day, everywhere I go. They're having individuals, as a result of the stalking of me, the individuals they decide, like the individuals that are going to be used today towards me, because I'm going to be going to Walmart, and I'm going to be going to another location, okay? Now, what they do along all my routes is have individuals get around me as a result of the tracking and stalking of me and have them replace, and have them repeat gang stalk. Gang stalk, gang stalker, oh my God, said in that way, continuously and repetitively in that way, using separate people to do it. One will say gang stalk and another one will say, oh my God, gang stalk, oh my God, gang stalker, oh my God, gang stalker. And when one says gang stalker, that's the cue for the other one to say, oh my God, and vice versa. Now, I'm about ready to literally show you that this is happening to me right now. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the audio files of it happening around me at UCSD on the 18th and again yesterday, which was the 23rd. The 18th of October and the 23rd, and I'm going to literally transfer over to those audio files right now. Now, this right here is it happening yesterday, again, inside the Price Center. It happened at two buildings yesterday that I went to on the 18th and yesterday. The Club Med restaurant, which is a small cafe that's right up the walking pathway from the Biomedical Library on UC San Diego campus. And then when I left the Club Med on the 18th, this cafe on the 18th, I rode my bike over to the Price Center. Same exact identical method happened towards me in the Price Center, non-stop continuously. Okay? Now, they did the same thing yesterday at both places. But inside the Club Med, they play a radio on the ceiling with music. If I was to upload those audio files, YouTube will send me copyright notification violations in reference to copyright rights concerning the music, the publishing company of the music, like the song, or the person who literally made the song. They've already done that to me on a couple other YouTube video channels. So basically, I'm not going to play the harassment that occurred towards me yesterday inside the Club Med because the music was happening in the background. But Gang Stalker was being literally wide out in the open, clearly said, again yesterday in the Club Med. I'll play you a little bit of the audio file of what happened on the 18th because I can play you sections of the audio files of what happened on the 18th where the music's not on. Now, since what happened yesterday has not been surveyed by me yet, it's hard for me to know what segments that the radio's not on. And I'm not going to let them try and use copyright violations, because if you, it's basically like if you download a song from the internet, you're engaging in copyright violations, and you can be prosecuted for it. Well, if I play you an audio file of harassment that's happening around me with music playing in the background, YouTube will send me a copyright violation. That's right, even though the music is not intentionally being transferred over to you for advertisement purposes or even copyright violations. It's just I can't help what they're playing on the like when you go into a building and there's music in the being played from the speakers on the ceiling. That's what was going on in Club Med. Alright, so let me just go ahead without further ado. I'm going to show you it happening in the Price Center yesterday. Okay, and what I'm going to do before I turn this on is I'm going to show you real fast the date. You can see it was October 23rd, 2013, and this is inside the Price Center at UCSD. What you're listening for is individuals getting around me and saying the earbuds to these earphones are taped right now to the microphone of the video camera, and I'm plugging them into the tape recorder. Okay? So, I want you to listen for individuals saying gang stalk, gang, or stalk, and oh my God being said close together. One, the person that usually says oh my God says it more from a distance in reference to the person that's saying gang stalker. That's done to complement the harassment by sensitizing me to, and sensitization was talked about in the video that this one is connected to, that YouTube title being the first YouTube video that's in the description of this YouTube video. Okay, two-part video series, this is the second one. First one will be the YouTube title, that's the first YouTube title in the description of this YouTube video. Watch it. Okay, and then come back and watch this again. Now, what you're listening for is individuals saying gang stalk and or gang stalker and or gang stalking, and then how oh my God is said close to it as soon as those words are said. And you're also going to be listening for how weird and crazy are also being said as these words are right after or before these words are being said. Just listen closely and you'll undeniably witness it. The hot dog king again. Salt. Yeah. Do you have any idea how naked a cucumber is without salt? Alright, now, that was in reference to October 23rd, 2013, inside the Price Center. It was happening non-stop, continuously for the whole time duration of while I was in the Price Center yesterday for a few hours. It happened non-stop, continuously and repetitively, non-stop while I was inside the Club Med for over 4.5 hours yesterday. That's right. Now, this is some audio files in reference to it happening in Club Med and inside the Price Center on the 18th, which was just, well, today's the 24th, so we got 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 6 days ago. Okay? Now, what I'm about ready to transfer over to you right now is just basically 2 separate audio files. One of it happening inside the Club Med. At the beginning of audio file 31, I literally make statements that you're about ready, that I'm inside the Club Med, and that you're literally hearing it, and that it's literally going to be heard, because it was already happening around me in audio file number at least 27, 28, 29, and 30. So, or in at least 29, maybe 28, 30. File, I'm talking about file numbers. It was already happening around me so much to where I knew that by the time I got to file 30, I'd be able to just turn on the tape recorder and you'd be able to hear it. Because when I stop a recording file, that's because it's going on around me, and so once I stop that recording file, I automatically, once I hit stop, I start a new one. That way audio files aren't that long. Alright, so go ahead and listen to this. This audio file 31 of it happening on the 18th of October, 2013, 6 days ago, inside a Club Med restaurant on UCSD campus. You're listening for gang stalk, and or gang stalking being said close together, back to back with the word "oh my God," using separate people. Listen, it's undeniable. So you can hear gang stalking here. Club Med, October 18, 2013. You say "oh my God" with gang stalk, or gang stalk and then "oh my God." Listen, I'll go ahead and rewind it and start it over again. Listen. So you can hear gang stalking here. Club Med, October 18, 2013. You say "oh my God" with gang stalk, or gang stalk and then "oh my God." This is it happening on the same campus in a separate building later on the same day, even though it was happening non-stop. I'm fast forwarded. That was audio file 31. I'm going straight to audio file 35. This is it happening again inside of the Price Center, West Price Center, on the same date. Listen to how you clearly hear it. You gotta know what to listen for. Gang stalk, along with and/or gang stalking, along with and/or gang stalker, along with how oh my God is being said right immediately after it. And if you can't clearly hear oh my God, just listen for the sounds of the words. Just trust me, you'll hear it. Listen. Alright, now I'm here today to testify that this is happening non-stop, continuously, and repetitively. Non-stop, everywhere I go, every single day. Now, in order for you to witness this, it was caught in the San Diego Police Department headquarters for the first and only time I went there in my entire life on July 24th, 2013. Then it was caught almost a month later on August 23rd, 2013, happening inside of the San Diego City Council chambers. That's right. It's been caught everywhere I go, every single day for the last year and a half, non-stop, continuously. Non-stop.